Take the critics and your fear. There's no easy way to hear. And all the memories you love to bring. With all the things that you hate to scream. So tell me, hollow on the inside, there's no trying to hide from this monster inside me. So if you try to criticize me,
With the number 2 pick, the Cleveland Browns select.
So here's how I think. So earlier I had said that the pick was Abdul Carter for me, and I still really love Abdul Carter. And if it was me making the pick, I would have a really difficult decision. I had kind of written off Travis Hunter, not because he's not great. He is great. It was because I saw what it took to beat Mahomes in the playoffs. It took the 2 times that he got beat. Sorry, 3 times he got beat. He didn't have time. Outside of the Bengals game, he kind of choked that. But he had so much pressure, and he had almost no time to make his decisions. And coverage has never been an issue. He can find his way around it. And so I was thinking about the opportunity to have the best 1-2 punch of edge rushers in the league. And I will say I still think that's extremely valuable. And if it were me, I think I would go Abdul Carter. But I think the pick is Travis Hunter. I look at what he can do on just the defensive side of the ball at corner. I think he's potentially a shutdown guy, one-on-one, complete clamp on any team's number one. And then at that point with your defense, you've now got 3 corners who you view as absolute studs. Denzel Ward, obviously Travis Hunter, and Martin Emerson. MJ had a bit of a down year last year, but he had been great the 2 years prior. So I think that allows you on a defensive side to get really creative with your coverage packages. I mean, the fact that you have 3 guys that you feel pretty comfortable leaving one-on-one,
Yeah.
send the house. That improves your pass rush. And then on the offensive side of the ball, I don't think that Travis Hunter is the best out-and-out wide receiver in this class. I think it is Teteroa McMillan, which, by the way, he has been, like, falling down draft boards, which is crazy to me. But for me, he is still a great wide receiver who, at a minimum, I could see us throwing in the slot as our slot guy, and he ends up being the guy that when he's in, he's getting the ball in the slot. And a big rack guy. I think he can definitely do it on the boundary too. I think he can be very good on the boundary, and I like the idea of interchanging him and Jerry Jeudy, and then obviously rotating in Cedric Tillman. There's a lot to like in terms of what you get out of Travis Hunter. And the other thing to mention as well is if he ends up being that guy, right, that ends up playing both sides of the ball, dominates on both sides of the ball, as long as he can stay healthy, you are getting somebody who's going to be worth every penny you pay him. Because a number 1 corner and a number 1 wide receiver make a crap ton of money. And I'm sure Travis Hunter will make the argument that they should stack on top of each other. But that's quite literally quarterback money at that point. So you'll end up paying him a lot, right? Assuming all goes well, goes to the 5th-year option, and you look to extend, you're going to be paying him a lot. You're going to make him the highest paid player in terms of wide receiver, corner, non-quarterback position. He will end up being the highest paid player, right? But it still would be a discount compared to having a number 1 corner and a number 1 wide receiver. So there's so much benefit because of his versatility, but it's not just his versatility, it's how good he is with his versatility. I really think that that's the pick. I certainly will be really happy if that is the pick. I know I say I want Abdul Carter, but at the same time, I can't sit here and say that it's wrong to go for Travis Hunter. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. With the number 2 pick, the Cleveland Browns will take Travis Hunter. And listen, man, a lot of people are going to get mad at me for saying this, but let me put my Skip Bayless hat on for a second. Travis Hunter will be the biggest thing in Cleveland since LeBron James. And I know, here's the thing. I understand that sounds like a crazy thing to say, but no, it's not. No, it's not. Think of who we're talking about here. Travis Hunter was the number 1 recruit in the 2022 class, right? Overall, number 1 recruit. Went to an HBCU. Dominated. Went to Colorado. Dominated. Wide receiver and as a cornerback, right? Won the Heisman Trophy as a wide receiver / cornerback. Won the Blitnikoff. The things that Travis Hunter does is absolutely insane. And Tristan, what makes him so special, and the reason why I say something like that is not just to say it. I genuinely mean it. When you have a guy who is 1,258 yards last year, receiving 15 touchdowns, while simultaneously 4 interceptions, forced fumble, 11 pass breakups. Like, bro, this is a one-of-a-kind player. And Tristan, me and you were texting a little bit through the period where we weren't able to record. And the one thing that I said, the Browns lucked into having the number 2 pick. I mean, this was God's gift to Cleveland. This was the lifeboat from the Deshaun Watson sinking ship. Because the Browns, I believe, Tristan, will draft Travis Hunter, and I believe he will be one of the greatest Cleveland Browns of all time. And I don't say that lightly. I really don't. I understand the level of pressure, and I understand the level of hype. And I know there's a lot of people that love to hate on players that have all sort of buzz and all sorts of hype around them. But at the end of the day, you turn on the film and Travis Hunter is a unicorn. He literally is a unicorn. He is the best player in this draft. And Tristan, to tell you how highly I think of Travis Hunter, if Jeremiah Smith were in this draft also, I would still take Travis Hunter at number 2. Because you look at what he does. To me, he, as a wide receiver, he's a lot like a Devontae Smith meets Jettas. He's special. His body control is out of this world. He was out there at the pro day with no gloves, just out there just having fun, right? And not that matters at all, but like he's so unique, and the different things that you're going to be able to do with him. You brought it up, and for me personally, I like him more as a cornerback because I think he is a just absolute ball hawk, dominant corner. Now I know he is undersized, 6 foot tall, 188 pounds. He has put on some more size since the season last year. That is one of the things that I have noticed with Travis. But dude, I mean, the guy is, I don't even know how you play against him. when he's on defense. Like, you can't throw his way.
Honestly, the only like type of receiver that I think would give Travis Hunter a hard time is like those bigger body like jump ball receivers. Like, and even then, I mean, it's really only on like those go routes. And if you have a guy that like that's truly like that you're going up against, you're putting a safety over top anyway. So it's like I don't worry about that too much. Where Travis Hunter is so special as a corner is his processing. He understands what the receiver's doing, and he understands when that guy's supposed to stop. He understands how the gap needs to be, right?
Yeah.
And most importantly, it's his instincts. And because he is a wide receiver as well, those hands are good. He's going to get a lot of picks. He's going to, if teams dare to throw his way. That's the thing. And that's why ultimately I think at Colorado, why he didn't win the Biletnikoff is because nobody threw at him. like his stats weren't that impressive as a corner, but it was because nobody wanted to try him because they knew what would happen. If you threw a pick to Travis Hunter, how confident are you that he isn't taking it the other way for 6? Especially at the college level, like, come on. But yeah, no, he's a freak of nature. He is absolutely, you said it best, he's a unicorn. And what you will be able to do in terms of coverage wise, because you'll have a guy like Travis Hunter, incredibly special. I'm excited to see where this goes from here. Again, I'm about 75% sure he's the pick. The other 25% is Abdul Carter, just because I do wonder if maybe AB's throwing a smoke screen. I kind of have that little vibe, but I still feel it's probably Travis Hunter, and I will be excited for it. But I sorry, one last thing. I want to address something you said. You said that he will be the biggest thing since LeBron James. I got to push back on that, okay?
Okay.
Because I don't know about you, but I got a fever. Flacco fever, baby. He will never surpass Joe Flacco in this city.
You know what? It sounds like a joke. It's going to sound like a joke. But I'm so serious when I say that the connection of Joe Flacco and Travis Hunter is going to feed families. Like, legit. We're sitting here talking about Travis Hunter, and listen, I said it first. You have agreed with me the whole way. I like him the most at corner. I think he is a absolute weapon at corner. Like, he is scary at the corner position. Like, what he does in coverage is out of this world. But the Browns were also the worst offense in the NFL last year. The Browns were historically bad offensively last season. And the reality is, if the Browns draft Travis Hunter, he's going to be playing, I believe, a lot more offense than defense. Now, yes, is he great at corner? Absolutely. But the beautiful thing, Tristan, is the guy is so gifted that offensively what he does for us, even if it's Joe Flacco throwing him the football, like what he can do opens up so much more. Jerry Jeudy had, for the first time in his career, over 1,000 yards last season, and that was off the backs of Deshaun Watson falling apart, Jameis Winston going out there and just winging it, and Jerry Jeudy still balled out, right? Now, you take a guy like Jerry Jeudy, and you say, okay, now we lost Elijah Moore, which I think is another reason why the Browns will take Travis Hunter. Not that Elijah's that important, but hey, you lost a receiver, bring in an elite talent, So you got Jeudy. Oh yeah, I'm old enough to remember David Njoku, who is also a God-given talent, athletic freak, had the best season of his career with Joe Flacco.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cedric Tillman, A guy that finally did something last season prior to getting hurt. Finally started looking like he was a competent football player, and he looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
Looked really good. You throw Travis Hunter in the mix? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And that's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, well, yeah, you're relying on the back of an old veteran quarterback who wasn't great last year in Indy. That's all well and good. But the one thing that Joe Flacco does is he knows when to take those risks. And yes, you're right. He does throw a lot of interceptions. It is what it is. It's going to happen. But he's also going to put the ball out there in a position where a guy like Travis Hunter has no business catching the ball, and he's going to catch the ball. And that, Tristan, is what I'm most excited about, is you now have some energy in your offense. You have a guy that can just go out there and be the quarterback and just spread the ball out, and your number one weapon from last year has more help. Your number one weapon from 2 years ago has more help, and the best quarterback he's ever played with, as far as connection goes, is back. And then you add a guy, who won the Heisman Trophy. Like, I am so very excited to see what this looks like. And, we talked about Nick Chubb. Travis Hunter, to me, it's not the same level by any means, but as far as character goes, the guy is not flashy other than on the field. He's not Odell Beckham Jr. off the field. He's not going to be at a bunch of different events and just random things, right? The dude is literally Joe Thomas. I don't know how many pictures I've seen of Travis Hunter on a boat holding a fish. Like, that's what he enjoys. The dude is solely focused on football. And before I send it back to you, I just want to reiterate one more time. Do we understand how fortunate the Browns were that the New York Giants, because of Drew Lock, won? The Raiders picked up a game late in the season. The New England Patriots picked up a game.
On the back of Joe Milton.
On the back of Joe Milton. Like, we should not be picking number 2. I know we had 3 wins, and I know this team was awful, but Tristan, when you look back, it's like, man, someday we're gonna look back at this and be like, whew, thank God.
And I'll be honest, I think it was the best possible outcome, because if you had number 1, you'd be so pressured to take a quarterback that you'd almost feel like you can't take anybody else. And I'm not really too high on this quarterback class. You're now in a position where you can justify taking the best player available. So
yeah,
that's worth its weight in gold. So Derek, I was thinking about something as you were talking, and I want to paint you a picture. So
all right,
I want you to imagine next season, 3rd and short, like 3rd and 2. And out onto the field, Browns are running like an I formation, 2 backs, right? Jalen Milroe comes in as the quarterback. You got Nick Chubb on one side. You got Quinshon Judkins on the other. And then in motion on a sweep, you've got Travis Hunter. That's exciting as hell. And for an offense that was so bland last year, I mean, you could have like rubbed it on the fucking on a piece of white bread and it would have more flavor. It was that bland. There's a lot of exciting things to think of when you get a guy like Travis Hunter. And if you can parlay that with somebody who can be a quarterback of the future and possibly even a running back of the future, it's going to be a very, very, very exciting and worthwhile season to watch. So, honestly, I think that's the most important thing at this point for the Brownies. Like, give us something that's worth watching, because last season, I for the first time in my life, I actually stopped like watching. It was that bad. I couldn't continue. I mean,
well, Tristan,
I tried, but no.
Do you remember? It's been a while ago now, but we were talking. The season at that point was torture, and we were looking towards the future, like 3 weeks into the year, because of course we were. And we talked about how important this draft is, right? And the Browns need to hit. It seems to me, stay with me here, that in a lesser way, I think the Browns are going to have a 2018 draft all over again, where with your first pick, instead of it being quarterback, you're going to go corner/wide receiver. But who was that? That was Denzel Ward, Pro Bowler, great player, leader, just cornerstone of this team. That's Travis Hunter. Right? 33 or bottom of the first round, I think you could go get your quarterback. And Baker Mayfield was electric, fascinating, brought a lot of energy. Well, I don't know about you, but I think Jalen Milroe is certainly flashy, electric, and brings a lot of energy. And then who did we get? Second round. We got Nick Chubb.
Although I will preface, it was with our second pick of the second round.
Yeah.
Can't forget the GOAT Austin Corbett, man.
Los Angeles Ram.
Los Angeles Ram, yeah.
But my point in saying all that is I think you're going to go out and you're going to get wide receiver/corner, quarterback, and running back with your first 3 picks. I just can't. The only way I see it not going that way, and I know you're not going to like this, but would be if they took Shedeur at 2, and then at 33 if Emeka Egbuka, Luther Burden, one of those type of players were there. That to me is the only other way that I could see it. That's just me. Yeah. That's just me. But
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'd be sick if we took Shedeur at 2. I would hate it. I'd still find a way to rally around the guy, but I would honestly. You know what? Fuck it. I would feel better about taking Jalen Milroe at 2 than I would Shedeur Sanders at 2. Because the ceiling.
Insane.
Because of the ceiling. I just think that Jalen Milroe is a much higher ceiling. I just don't see what Shedeur comes in to the NFL and does at an elite level or can eventually do at an elite level to separate himself. I just don't see it.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. That's why we're not scouts.
Yeah.
And
yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, no. By the way, I want to preface, I wouldn't take Jalen Milroe at 2.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that. I'm just saying I would rather, because it's how many more high ceiling mobile quarterbacks do we have to see become studs before we finally invest in one?